I remember I was like maybe 7 years old. I don't know what Israel is. I'm 7. And I was chanting death to Israel, walk over the flags and stomp them. Why do we do this? Just do it, Kian. Imagine what's the politics on that to start raising the kids like that. No wonder that some people in Iran will allow themselves to hold guns and shoot each other, the other Iranians.
Today, I'm joined by Kian Sadeghian, an Iranian musician, pro-democracy advocate, and one of the fastest growing voices speaking to the Iranian people online. Through his music and social media, Kian has inspired hundreds of thousands with a message of hope, freedom, and the belief that the Islamic Republic will not last forever. But who is the man behind the movement? What does he know about Iran that the rest of the world doesn't? How close is the regime to collapse? And could a free Iran one day become one of Israel's closest allies? Kian, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. That was a great introduction. I loved it.
Of course. Who was Kian before anyone knew your name, anyone knew your music? Where did you grow up? Tell us about your childhood.
Yeah, Kian is a simple man. Nothing special about it. He's just living his life and he worries about his country. That's all. Yeah, thanks for mentioning me as a musician. The first thing that people get wrong about me is that I'm very, very activist and I'm very active in politics, which I got into politics because of the latest revolution of Iran. But my main, like, not even a hobby, my main job actually is music and art, videography, music videos. This is my world. But since the beginning of this revolution, the Lion and Sun revolution, I got dragged into it because it was my own country and people started to like my voice. And then I understood, okay, now it's not like a hobby anymore. This is your mission for your own country. And that's how it started with the flag that you see. And yeah, that's like a brief explanation about this situation about me.
So what's your earliest memory of realizing something's not right with Iran, of what's going on over there?
So as a introduction, I must say that I was born in Iran and I was raised in Iran and I was in Iran until I was 16 or 17. And then I left Iran. So all my memories from my childhood are inside Iran. I'm not considered like a full diaspora. My first memory about Iran that I understood that there's something wrong was the hijab that we have. And I always compared it to the movies that I watched when I was a kid. That why nobody's wearing hijab in the movies, but in my country, everybody's wearing hijab. And then my parents told me that, do you know they cannot talk about this in school? Whatever it is, it's going to stay in the house because there's some problems with Kian. And I said, well, what do you mean problem? I said, no, don't talk about this to anyone from school. And that's the first time that I understand, okay, there's something different with this regime. I think maybe I was 8. And from that time so far, from the problems that this regime caused, the disconnection from the international world, all that has started to make me realize that, okay, there's something wrong here. It's not them, it's us.
But growing up, would you describe your childhood as a pleasant childhood? I guess as a child, you didn't really realize the differences between Iran and other countries, right?
Yeah. I don't have any bad ideas or any bad memories from Iran. Actually, I love it, even with this regime that was here, but it's still like, it's your country. You didn't have any other idea. Like during the time of Shah, I was not born. I'm sure if I had experienced that and compared it to now, there would have been some big comparison to be made. But nobody's not happy maybe for before last 15 years or 10 years, everybody was still okay. And by okay, I'm not talking about the regime, the hijab. People had money to live. People were not starving. People were not hungry. But then the economics just collapsed because of all this movements, these ideas, this defense systems, missiles programs, all this things that the Islamic Republic started. And because of that, they didn't lose, the people lost the money. And they just poured it into defense to make sure they can stand against Israel and United States. And as you could see, they didn't do very well. And that's when I think exactly the Iranian people started to feel that this regime is killing them.
Do you feel like the people feel like the regime cares more about kind of waging war with other countries than their own people?
Yeah, 100%. Like we have never felt the other way, that the regime cares about the people. We have never felt it. Like I myself, I've never felt it. They have enough goals to hit as a regime to fight against the countries they announced on the first day, like by Khomeini who came. He said something let's say he was right or wrong, it doesn't even matter. He said that let's fight Israel. And now, since the structure of this Islamic Republic is based on his speeches, they cannot change it. Like, even if they go and make a deal, they cannot change the fighting part that they say death to Israel, death to America, every Friday. Even in my school, I remember I was like maybe 7 years old. I don't know what Israel is. I'm 7. And I was chanting death to Israel, walk over the flags and stomp them. Why do we do this? Just do it, Kian. You have to. And like, imagine what's the politics on that, to start raising the kids like that. And no wonder that some people in Iran will allow themselves to hold guns and shoot each other, the other Iranians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that the West kind of misunderstands the regime's mentality? Meaning, these people think like we're doing what Allah wants us to do. Yeah, this is ordained by God. As you mentioned, Khomeini spoke about this. This is something that, how are we going to negotiate something we think is divine, inspired? This is something from God. Why would we negotiate it?
Well, I don't think this is related to Iran anymore. It's the whole world now. Right now, the peak is about Islam. And every person who has this belief in Islam that they are the only, let's say, best religion or the only religion or any type of only that you can put, you're being radical, and there will be consequences for that for other people. You're seeing Europe right now. You're seeing Canada. You're seeing London. Like, the problem is not Islam. The problem is the radicalism that they have, and they don't practice their religion in their whole heart. That's what it meant for. But they're just practicing to conquer. And I think that's not even on their hands, because the religion tells them that if you want to live by the rules of Islam, you need to keep them. And in order to keep them, you should eat halal. You should not do this. You should not go in a bus which there are female next to you or male next to you. So they're not allowed to live in a culture like that, but they go there. So the only choice they have is to conquer their culture and dismantle their culture and change it to something that Islam accepts. So that's why we're seeing the radicalists, we call them radicals. They think they're good. The radicalists start to dismantle culture and do their own, bring their own culture into it. That's because of Islam told them if you cannot live there, you either have to conquer them or go back. Nobody's going back to their own country because it's always war. So I don't think it's about West or any nation misunderstanding the Iranian people. It's about the religion. And more into religion is about radicalists in the religion who try and dismantle cultures.
But the Iranian people are very different from the regime, right? I mean, the regime is just a tiny percentage of the population of Iran who completely think differently than them, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Islamic Republic is going to be the only government that the world will see that the Iranian people could get rid of as an Islamic country who's de-radicalizing itself and getting rid of the Islam. I think Iran is going to be the first, and the Islamic Republic is going to be the first government who got freed by the people since the beginning of Islam. And by the way, I don't have a problem with this. I'm not saying that I support or hate, or it's not about religion. It's about the history, that what happened. And the Islamic Republic, so many Iranians inside Iran who support the Islamist ideology, they will tell you that this is not Islam, that whatever this Islamic Republic is doing, they'll tell you that this is not Islam. And my question to them is always that, is it even related anymore? They're killing us. They're hanging every day. They're killing 40, 50,000 people in less than 2 days. And you would tell me that this is not their Islam. Like, who cares now? They're dead. Like, it's finished. Like, even if it was their Islam or if it was not their Islam, it's killing. It's killing your own, like, patriot, like, you're citizen of that country, and the other person is a citizen, and you're killing each other. It's not their Islam, so.
Yeah. I mean, like, every few days we hear, that they're hanging these people, these young children, these young teenagers.
Yeah.
For what? What did they even do?
Yeah, they have this idea that they can call it as muharebe, and apparently it's in Quran, that if you wager against God or the book of God, Quran, you have the right to kill them. You have the right to rape them, kill them, like whatever you want to do. It's not even, it's very dark actually, to be honest. Like if somebody's going to bring these ideas up to write in a book today, like imagine what would happen to them. Like you get the right to kill someone if they think your God is not correct.
Yeah.
And this is what happened
Yeah.
because they have the power, they have the gun, they have the control, they can do it. And
Mhm.
that's very sad.
Was there a specific moment when you decided, you know what, I'm going from musician to kind of an activist type of person? I can't stay silent about this anymore. I don't care
Yeah.
what the repercussions are going to be.
Yeah. I remember I had that. I think it was the beginning of me going viral for my videos, and I got the good amount of attention in a very short time. And then I got so happy and like the adrenaline kicked in. And then I thought, okay, Kian, maybe this was your path. Maybe this was who you were meant to be. And then it got further and further. Then I got more into politics. I started reading and started researching. And then I was, okay, this is some very, very nasty world. And I'm not even prepared for it. It's not about do you want to do it. My heart cannot accept the pressure, the dirtiness, the double standards, all these things that politicians do. It's like very hard. And then you're lecturing people, and there are millions watching you. And if you're wrong, it's like, what are you even doing? And my tip for the people who are doing this: if you're wrong one time, you're done. Like, don't think that when you have like millions of views, don't think that these millions mean nothing because you don't see them face to face. If you go wrong one time, people will remember. This is something that I was experiencing for the first time, that people are very smart. People are very, very smart.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
your Instagram presence is very large. I think you have over 123,000 followers. Did you ever
Yeah.
imagine that that would happen? And why do you think so many Iranians trust you?
No, at first I never thought that this was going to happen. Actually, I had this idea that I'm going to reach 100,000 followers in 2 years, maybe, for my music. And then overnight, I started reaching like 10,000, 20,000. And that was the part that I said, okay, if you want something, you can actually do it. And then I had these ideas that, see, I did it. But then it got to a point that I realized, okay, Kian, this is going a different path that you imagined for your life. It's not bad to be fighting for your country, but how long can you keep fighting without even doing your own, like what you love? It's like doing the job you don't like. And then I saw the other people, and then I saw what was happening inside Iran, the people who got killed for their own country, and then the people who were being hanged, the families. And then I got in contact with direct contact with the families who lost their children. And that's when I realized that, dude, what are you even saying? These people went and fight for their country and they died. And now you're saying that this is not my path and it was going to be music. If people are listening to you, you have to fight because they went and fought and they got killed. And now you're just saying Instagram is not good. Come on, man. And that's when I realized that, okay, you should do this. If people are listening to you, you should do this. And I went full throttle on it. And now I'm here.
What kind of feedback do you get? I mean, I'm sure there are people that watch you and it gives them strength to speak out as well. Do you get feedback from what you're doing?
Yeah, a lot of feedback. At first, it used to be the people who support the regime, so they were all cursing. At first, I was so like maybe vulnerable to them, and I started to get sad very often. But then I just realized, dude, this is social media. This is how it goes. And slowly, slowly, I got immune to them. I didn't even care. And then my voices reached outside of Iran, and then foreigners started following me, and then supporters of, let's say not supporters, let's say haters of Israel, and maybe the supporters of Palestine or those type of people. They started finding my account and they started writing bad words, curses, all those things you're way more familiar than me. And that was the second wave. And after that, I just realized that, okay, this is how it's going to go if you want to keep being active in this field. And I said, okay, fine, let's do it. Anything for this flag.
Tell me about your music. How did you start with your music? And did you ever imagine years ago that your music would become connected with freedom in Iran?
Well, first of all, thank you for asking about my music. I think this is the first interview that the people are not asking me full political questions. So music is my like love my life. It's my job. It's not like a hobby anymore. It's actually my job. And since I think I was 6, I started doing real music and I was deep into music. And at some point, I started making music and my music videos, and they started to be heard inside Iran. I think it was Mahsa Amini's movement the first time that I did. It was like 3 years ago. Two of my music videos went viral inside Iran. And because of that, I understood that I cannot ever go back to Iran or they will hang me. And after that, I said, okay, I have a voice in my music or this type of music that I can do that people like, and it gives them power or maybe encouragement. So I kept doing it. And then the Masa Amini revolution started to cool down. I went back to my own music, which is like electronic festival club music, making them working. And then this happened. And then I said, okay, now that I'm a political influencer, maybe an activist, I have to combine my music with this. And then I did combine in one song, which is called Sogand, and it exploded like hell. Like it was so brilliant for me that, and the main point of this music, it's not my music, it's not my face, my nothing. I use the faces of this 40,000 people who were killed, like as much as I could, as much as I could fit in. I used their faces. I used AI to rebuild, like they're standing in front of Takht Jamshid inside Iran, Shiraz, and they're looking directly at the camera, and it's giving this perspective that we're on the other side, but we're still watching and we're waiting. That was the main power of this music video. And then even after that, I understood that, okay, this is another thing that I have in my pocket that I should use for my country. That's my music side, maybe.
Do you feel like music has a power to touch people more than words can ever do?
Well, about that, I should say art has the power to do that. And the thing that I realized in this situation, I used to think that what does it practically do? Like, what's the tangible thing you can feel with art or music or paintings that really empowers you? Why do I don't know, every movement, every politician, they start to focus on the art, music, theater, cinema, and they blocked music, theater, cinema to make sure they stay in power. What is it about it that keeps them going like that? And then I understood it today. And how I experienced it was like I was making videos, like I was talking to the camera. This happened, that happened. Let's do this. You should support this. Bringing awareness. And at some point, I realized, okay, the people who are not related to me, like or related to Iran, they don't care anymore. They just watch my video. At first, it was interesting because it was big news. War in Iran, supreme leader was killed. And at some point, I realized, okay, the people who are not related, they don't even care anymore. Like they say, oh, let's do it again, and they will skip. I combined it with my art, and they started to bind with that music or that art, and they started listening to the message of that music because of the art was there, and they started to understand Iran. That's exactly how I understood that what music does or art does generally. It gives you something beautiful that you attach to, and then you want to find more about it, and then you started reading the message of that art, and then you will understand or bring the same awareness that you were looking for. And that's how I want to tell everyone who's fighting for anything, not even your country or politics or anything. Fight for what you're fighting for with art. That's called the art of fighting, I think. That's why.
Is there a particular song that means the most to you personally or that you feel like affected the most amount of people?
During this revolution, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of songs that was becoming so viral and famous during this time of revolution, and one of them was maybe Shine Najafi's songs. You might not know him, but he's very big. And there are different type of songs that you see and you just get chills, but they're not like full song, maybe like an Instagram clip. And usually the video in that clip with that music is the video of the people who were killed, and it's their faces going rapidly, and you will see faces going by, and you will understand these people were killed. And there are multiple, like I could say 3, 4, 5 songs we used in these type of videos, and you would see them and you would hear the music, and this will give you chills. Even like when I'm at a club and I'm working, I see the remix of that song, and it still gives me the chills that, oh God, this breaks my heart, because it gives me this reminder of the people who were killed. Anything during the January, any song that was viral in that time is very, very hard for me.
Can you describe what is the Lion and Sun Revolution and what does that
Hmm.
symbol matter? What does it mean to you?
The Lion and Sun Revolution. Well, the first thing that I should mention, the sign of Lion and Sun, this lion here. Some people from West or East or from the people of the world, they think that this is the sign of King Reza Pahlavi, Prince Reza Pahlavi. The fact is, this is the real flag of Iran, very old flag. And the thing that makes this very symbolic for us is that, first of all, it's very old. Iran has the history of more than 3,000, and it can go up to 6,000 years if you want to combine all the like previous histories. And during all this time, during this history that we're talking about, it stayed under the same flag. Like this Islamic Republic is, I think, the only example that we're going to talk about that they changed the flag. Whatever we had, it was a variation of this, and we are very proud of our country. And this flag really, really unites us. Like even here, when we're walking outside and we see other Iranians, we can understand that which side you're on, which type of ideology thing, because of this flag. They wear this flag, we understand everything about each other. Like you can see it physically, how it unites us. That's why we love it. That's the smallest thing that I can say about that, why we love it.
What are some things that people misunderstand about your movement, about the Lion and Sun movement? What do they usually get wrong about this?
One of the things that people get wrong, and ask so many times, is that why the people of Iran started to celebrate when their supreme leader was killed by United States and Israel. And they attacked your country, they killed your supreme leader, and you people started celebrating in the streets. There are some points in that. First of all, I want to say that when the foreign community, the people of the national world, they started to see this and they didn't see the supporters of the regime who were crying on the streets, that tells, I think, the whole world that how many supporters this revolution had. And I think it's the like maybe 80% of the Iranian people, they support this revolution because they want change. But the thing that people get wrong is that why we started celebrating when the United States and Israel intervened and attacked our country. And the reason was that we were feeling a type of revenge of how many people were killed because of this regime, not only during this last 6, 7, 8 months, the whole 47 years, how many mass murders, how many hangings, execution, jail times, how many families dismantled, and even other than that, the economics, the ideology, why people are living very poorly. Iran has huge amount of oil, gold, silver, whatever which is valuable in this world is available there. I'm ignoring it. I'm even ignoring the touristic or historic places. And the people inside Iran are living very poorly. Why? Because of this regime, because of this ideology that they have, that they're going to wager against God, you're going to be killed, you're going to have to, I don't know, support my words, follow Islam. If not, you will be killed. And people are dying because of that. And when you've lived this through your life and then you see something comes and hit them and it blows the supreme leader of this ideology, you feel good. You feel like something eventually happened after 47 years. Like there's something people should understand, that we have presidents, we have prime ministers, we have many, many types of leaders, but the supreme leader is the toughest one. The supreme leader can even kill or assassinate the president and nothing changes in Iran. So all of them are puppets. That top one was the real one. And still it was like, imagine the Islamic, or how the structure works. He was murdered and his son, I believe his son is also murdered, Moshtaba, but they say he's not, but I believe he is. Still with his dead body, with father and son, it still works. It's still just going around somewhere. It's like a spider without head. The legs are
Mhm.
just working now. But it won't take long until it's dismantled.
You know, Western media is kind of selective in what they report. If
Yeah.
you and I were in Iran right now, what would you say is happening inside Iran that the media almost never reports?
Well, the thing that's happening inside Iran, the Iranian people are waiting for something. And the last time that they went to the streets to take back their rights or take back their freedom, they were facing machine guns, they were facing war bullets, they were facing people from outside of Iran, like Iraqis, militias coming and cutting their head off, raping. There's so many things that I can tell you. I'm not going to bring them up in your podcast. It's very disturbing. But they faced this in 2 days. And they said, okay, if you're going to kill 40, 50,000, we're not going to back down, but we're not going to fight brainlessly. We're going to fight smart. So they're waiting to be armed. I don't know how. There are many possible ways that they can be, but none of them are easy. But I think that's the only solution that we can have to finish this. They have to be armed. They have to be supported by some military. I'm not even saying Israel or United States, any military that wants to support them. But other than these two countries, nobody's willing to. It's only Israel and United States. And even we know that they're doing it for their own interest, but we're fine with it. Do it for your own interest. Bring freedom to us. Do it for your own interests. We're fine with it. Majority of people, I'm not saying I'm representing every Iranian, but majority of people are saying this.
Now, do you believe that the regime is terrified of the people? And what are they terrified of exactly?
Well, the regime is absolutely terrified of its people. And the thing that it's terrified of is if they unite. If the people of Iran unite fully, like the last time we saw it was Princess Pahlavi saying that come to the streets in 8th and 9th, I think. Yeah. Of January, come to the streets, capture your streets and protest. And then they saw millions coming to the street. That was the first time that we had millions in the streets, and they faced machine guns. And the regime decided, in order to stop them, use guns and bullets, war bullets, not like pellets. And they decided to do that. And that's very sad. And now imagine if they were uniting, like let's say it was an imaginary world that every single Iranian was going to be in the street. There was no way that the Islamic Republic could stop it. You're going to fight 90 million people with how many soldiers you have. So if the Iranian people unite, that's the end of them. So that's exactly what the propaganda system of Islamic Republic is, only to make problems between cultures, between ideology, and make sure that they never unite. So we have Turks in the north of Iran, and we have Baluchis in the south of Iran. We have different cultures, and they always have this jokes that the Turks do this, they're like that, make fun of the South people, the Southern people, the West, the East, all of them. They have this jokes about each other, so they start hating each other. And after the social media world, we started to understand, oh shit, this is for the propaganda system to make sure they never unite.
Now we see, unfortunately, a lot of the people that were killed were young Iranians. How different are the young Iranians from their parents, and what gives them the strength to go out and to protest, even especially when that they're not armed?
Well, the first thing that I can say about that, and I always have this conversation with my parents, is that I think the brainwashing machine of the Islamic Republic was not finished until these things happen. Like my parents, they're older, and they always have this idea that, dude, just let it go. This is some of their own problem. If the world doesn't want us, if the world doesn't want this, if the Illuminati or the power of the world or all these ideas that you don't even know if they exist, if they don't want it, it will not happen. So just sit home. This part is the important one. Sit home and don't do anything. Exactly what the regime wants. The people stay home, don't do anything. If they get brainwashed completely, you start to have this belief. But I think the young age of Iranian people, the youth, they were not fully brainwashed. So they still have this idea that if we unite, if we want to do something, we can do it. That's how it should work. That's how the nature works. And I think the revolution started at some point that the brainwash was not complete, and they saw a flick or maybe a switch or maybe like a sparkle, and they said, okay, now it's the time, and they got flame and they went to the streets, and you could see the bravery in their eyes and their behavior.
In a lot of the protests, we see the lion and sun flag next to the Israeli flag. And some people might be surprised. But what do ordinary Iranians actually think about Israel? Has the anti-Israel propaganda failed that the regime tried to show?
So you mean the regimes tried to show that the Iranian people are enemies of the Israeli people, but the reality is different, right? Yes, that is very true. And I think it's something the regime did it itself. I'm not saying, like the history of Iran, they always been friends with Israel, even during the time of Shah. He was a good friend he was good friend with Israeli people. Iranian people were good friends. But after this regime, because of the religion wars, they started to, as I said, make us chant death to Israel, death to America from since the time we were 5, 6, 7 years old. And even my parents, they have this idea. It's not something new. And now that we have social media and we're more connected to the people of the world, now we're seeing, okay, what we were into. And because of that much hatred they built in us, and then we understood that it was all just nothing, it was just a bubble. And there's no such bad things about the Israeli people. And then the people are falling to the other side, like a spring being so contracted and then expanding. I think that's the first point, that the people who are not aware about Israel, they start to bring love to the Israeli people because they always thought this hatred because of this regime. And now they see it was all fake and they are falling to the other side. And then before that, we have this history from the time of Cyrus the Great, like very long histories we have. And during the time of Shah, even before that. Yeah, I think there's something maybe in our blood just combining each other. We're attracting each other, even though the regime has done all these horrible things.
I think most people would be surprised to know that before 1979, there were direct flights from Tehran to Tel Aviv. There were embassies. Yeah, there was a great relationship. Do you think that one day Israel and Iran could become, allies once again? I guess with a free Iran.
I believe the person who can make this happen is Prince Reza Pahlavi, the son of Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah, and I'm not saying it because like it's the only choice he got, or the Israelis bought him, the Mossad bought him, because we always hear this type of conspiracy theories that no, he was saying this before any of this happened, and he's following the path of his father actually. And he's saying that there's nothing good coming out of war with different countries. So he's not even talking about fighting with Israel or not. He's talking about fighting with any country or not. And he's saying that there's no such thing. If we're going to fight with a country, it's going to be a competition. You're going to go in a competition with that country, try to bring better technology, bring better environment. If you cannot beat them, then ask them for help. This is the idea, like peaceful. You want to improve. But this regime, the Islamic Republic, if you cannot fight them, kill them. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the person who is going to make this happen, and the only person who's going to make this happen is Reza Pahlavi. We don't have any other substitute.
I think also the Iranians probably understand that there's no other country in the world that wants a free Iran more than Israel. I mean, I just had that thought right now. But obviously, Israel wants it for the people. But the regime has been behind all the terrorism against Israel. So a free Iran would be good for the people, but it would also be good for Israel, and that they would be free from terror, hopefully. So that's, I guess, a mutual benefit that we have from a free Iran.
The whole world will benefit from a free Iran because it will bring peace. Like the people who are watching this, and maybe they have this idea that why there are so many wars in the Middle East, it's the Islamic Republic. That's it. If the Islamic Republic goes, everything will just go back to peace. And I should mention this, Arab countries do not want this because they will give a slight chance to Iran to be stronger than the Arab countries. So they're in this dilemma that do we want this war and maybe secure support from the United States and keep Islamic Republic, or just get rid of this devilish regime and bring peace to the Middle East and maybe fight them economically, or not fight them, I mean competition, to compete with them.
And you mentioned the internet, that people are understanding on the internet what the real relationship used to be with Israel and Iran, and all the lies. Is that something also that the regime is afraid of? That we saw they shut down the internet for, 80 something days, right? Are they afraid of their citizens being educated about the truth? Is that one of the reasons why they do shut down the internet?
Like, if I'm going to explain all this in one example, that how much afraid this regime is, the regime is trying to erase the history of Iran, which is related to the Cyrus the Great, and the part that is related to the Israeli people, who the Cyrus the Great helped them to gain their freedom. Our schooling system, which is controlled by the Islamic Republic, is trying to completely remove that part from our history, and they're not taught in the books of the history books of Iran. That when you go to school, you don't read this anymore, because they would give them a sense of, like, I don't know what you can call them, but you will have some sense for the people of Israel that back then we used to be friends. Like, forget about during the time of Shah. There's nothing good about time of Shah when you read the history books of Iran. They just deleted everything, every good part. And when you go back to Cyrus the Great, that's the biggest point of history of Iran. And they removed it. They don't tell you much about it. One of the reasons is that maybe they don't want to feel connected to the Israeli people, the children.
Yeah. What do you think is one thing that every Israeli should understand about the Iranian people?
The difference of the Iranian people and the regime. Not only Israeli people, every single person in this world who understands Iran or heard about Iran. Like this flag and the flag of the Islamic Republic, whenever we see, even I see videos that they're talking about maybe the culture of food in Iran, and they use the Islamic Republic, I just open the comment section. I see thousands of comments of Iranian trying to correct that guy, that that's not a flag, respectfully, not like cursing anything, respectfully telling that this is not the flag of Iran and this is the flag of Iran. And this is something very understandable from the foreign countries compared to Iran. That, okay, they didn't know. They're not familiar that much with the culture of Iran. But the only thing that we really care about, that Islamic Republic is not us. The mullahs, the people who have this type of things on their head and the beard, and they make fun of themselves. They want to fight always. They're not us. The Iranian people, most Iranians, they're not even any type of Muslims or religious. We have so many religious, but they're not like the majority. The majority, we're tired of religion. That's the bottom line that I can tell you. We're tired of it. But we have so much respect for all the religions if they do it like as it's supposed to be, like as religion for your heart and for your brain, a path for your life.
Yeah.
But not to terrorize.
Not to kill other people or to
capture
them or to force them to do what you believe in.
Yeah.
If you can think of like an opinion that you had that maybe some of your followers disagreed with, or something that ruffled feathers, is there something that comes to mind?
Something that my followers disagree with me.
Maybe that you said.
Okay, the thing that's happening inside the influencers act about the situation in Iran is that we try to support maybe Netanyahu and Trump because of the things that they're doing. And I'm not saying that it's only a couple of us. There are many of us. And there are also many of the Iranian people who are thinking that, why do you support a person who attacks your own country? We have this conversation that they're saving us. Look what they've done already. And there are people who are telling me that, but still they're attacking your land. They're attacking your country. Your family members are in there. You have some loved ones there. Maybe they attack them. So we have this debate between the Iranian people that, why do you, okay, we are in this war because of the Islamic Republic. We all agree to that. We know it because they were chanting death to America and death to Israel. We know it. But why do you support them? That you're happy that they're attacking. And I say that I'm happy because we're having this slight chance of saving Iran and freeing Iran. That's why I'm happy about it, not because of being bombed. But without the bombs and without the pressure, we don't have any other choice. So we have this debate going on between the Iranian people. And most of them support this line and flag sign. I'm not saying that all of them are supporters of the regime, but they're against the fight of the war that's happening. So there are different aspects, or maybe different, I don't know, how can I say it, different parts or supporters.
Mm-hmm.
And the lefties, oh shit, I don't like them. I never did.
Yeah. But is everybody united under Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi? Do they believe that he's the future of the leadership, or is there a disagreement about that?
Well, I am a supporter of him, a big supporter of him. And if you ask me, I don't think it's like right to say that, yeah, everybody is, because I am a supporter of him. So it's not fair. But if I'm going to be fair, there are people who don't accept, and they're not majority, I can tell you. I'm trying to be respectful, just try to talk about facts. There are people who are bringing some ideas. We call them lefties, and they say that he's not a good substitute. But when you ask them, okay, what is a good substitute? They just stop there. They don't give you any more information that what we can do or not do. So we will say, okay, you're either from the side of the regime that you support, the Islamic Republic, or you're just really confused that you don't have a leader and you don't want the current leader, the Islamic Republic. And then we have this opposition, Princes of Pahlavi, and then you don't want them too. So what exactly do you want? And they say that's not even related. So we have this type of people with which they're confused or they're supporters of the regime. And then there are supporters of Princes of Pahlavi who are like me. They just completely follow him. And then there are people who follows Princess of Pahlavi because there are no other substitutes and there's no other choice. But they accepted, okay, if we want to make sure that this goes further and we have a chance of freeing Iran, we need to support them, and they're doing it by their heart. And I must mention again, Princess of Pahlavi is going to be the transitional leader. So he's going to make sure this revolution happens and transfer to the next government voted by the Iranian people. And then we have the supporters of the regime. And then we have some other small groups that they think they have a chance. Like there's always some small groups that they want to take the power. It's not even worth talking about them.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's some things that the Iranian opposition could improve on? Meaning, if you were advising Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi today, what would you tell him?
If I was going to advise him, like, to be honest, I don't think I'm in any position to advise him. But if there's, I don't think I'm in a position to advise. Sorry, my lights are, I think, running out of battery. I don't think I'm in any position to advise him, but I can hear the people concerned that their light was just falling off. It's a live show. I can hear the people talk some negative things about him. Not negative things, they're critic. And maybe some people are asking why he's so calm. We need some more aggression. Some people start to bring up ideas that he should do this. He should ask the people to go there, capture their fight there, be armed, fight. But I can just debate those people that if he does it and the one person is killed, look what would happen to him. That he sent those people and killed them. So the people are debating on his aggression, that he's very, very calm. And that's why I'm so happy that the future of Iran is going to be calm if he takes over, because of the character that he is. But the thing, actually, I cannot advise him on anything because he knows way more than any of us, and he's connected way more than any of us. And if, let's say, he's talking to United States or Israel, and they're having this plan that when he can travel to Iran and start talking from inside Iran and publishing his videos. Like, if he has this idea, he's going to talk with them, with the IDF and United States USS, but he's not going to tell it to us. So if you don't see Princess of Pahlavi talking about his plans on how he's going to go inside Iran, don't be surprised. That's very common sense to have this idea that it's going to be secret. But the people are just losing their tolerance and they want to free Iran way faster. So everybody's just saying that, not everybody. People are saying that he needs to do something, but maybe he is doing something. And I believe he is doing something from the bottom of my heart. And some things that I know he's doing something. It's not like he's just making videos and sitting.
Have you ever thought about maybe quitting your activism, and what keeps you going?
Oh,
the people.
Yeah, the people. Okay, let's say that there are two good examples that I can tell you. One of them was that I got some threats by the Islamic Republic from inside that they were sending my names to this list that we need to find, not find these people, but these people are activists and we need to take care of them. I don't know what take care of them meant, but they had my name, my face, my ID, everything. And that photo was sent to me that Kian and one of my friends sent it, that there's this channel on Telegram that they put your name in it. At first I said, okay, my friend, why are you in there? Like, first question is that. And then I just started to slow down a bit because I was worried about some concerns that I have. And then I think it was a mother of a child sent me a video, a direct video, not like story or something. And she was recording a video over a body bag, and I didn't know what was I watching. And he was just massaging the body bag, and he was crying, and she was saying, that Kian, this is my son. His name was also Kian. And I just want to tell you that I wish he could live and be like you. He was 18. And I still get chills when I say this. I started crying instantly. Like it was in a body bag and his name was Kian. Like you feel the connection that I have, that it could have been me and then it could have been him standing on the other side of the phone. And maybe he would say, I would talk about it if I was dead. And then I said, okay, if it's vice versa, then I will not stop. I'm going to keep going. And if I'm going to make a difference, and it is making a difference, it's really sad that if I stop, because I got some maybe threats on Telegram group. I said, these people went
Yeah.
outside and got bullet shot in their head and they're still fighting. And because of a threat on Telegram, I'm going to stop? No way. It was this. And then the people, especially the family members of the people who were killed, sometimes they write to me, they ask me to maybe reshare their son or child photo, or even their father's photo. And these people are just keeping me under this pressure because it's not easy. To be honest, it's not easy. Even my workspace right now, they're pressuring me that, Kian, you used to have a social media for your work. Now you're not sharing anything about your social life. And let's say my work is about music and clubs and dancing and parties. I cannot share this stuff on my page anymore since it's more towards activism. And they're just pressuring me that, Kian, you need to share your work. We need you. And I said, okay, no, I cannot do it. It's not fair. I'll try to make people understand that it's my personal life. I have to do some, but as much as I can, I will just not share this irrelevant things.
Do you ever think like we're living in a day and age where one person, you yourself, can help tens of thousands of people, millions of people, just from your room over there? Like you know what I'm saying? Like your voice echoes throughout the world. Do you ever stop to think about the power of your voice? I mean, through social media.
Well, yeah, this is very true, and this is something that I really understand now. And like the moment that I realized it was that I was seeing people recognize me because of the things that I did, maybe in banks, and the guy's not even Iranian. And he said, I know you're from somewhere, you were talking about Iran. And then I said, okay, people are listening to me. But the thing that I didn't realize until then was that the effect it has on the people who are fighting something, or the influence you have on them. That's why it's called influencer. And that was the first time that I was experiencing something, that people are following what I say, and they even follow me because of what I say. And then the best example that I can tell you is still Princess of Pahlavi, that he started this revolution on 8th and 9th of January from Instagram. He was also sitting in a room talking to the camera and saying that, I'm telling you people, go out at that night and do that. And this revolution started with that. He was also sitting in a room talking to a phone.
Well, Kian, I truly appreciate this
Oh, Daniel,
conversation.
thank you.
And it's people like you that have the courage and bravery to speak out that inspire everyone, especially me.
Oh, thank you so much.
And how can people find you, follow you on Instagram and any other place that your music?
My YouTube is not as good as yours. My Instagram, I just only have one Instagram, and different platforms. If people are interested in what I say about Iran, my music, I don't know, my life, if there's anything interesting about me, I encourage them to maybe check it out. And I encourage people to check your profile out. I know that you don't want to be very in the top of the attention, but you're doing a very good job. And there's not much information about you on Instagram, which is good. I'm not trying to push that, but thank you for what you're doing, especially for the Jewish community.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best.
You too.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless.